Good morning, everybody out there in Brotherhood Coaching. I'd like to welcome you to today's episode on basically the basics that we need to help start influencing people and how to get rid of that negativity that's going on. So, real simple, negativity, misery loves company, right? So don't engage in it. It's hard. These might be simple answers, but they're hard to do, and that's why most people don't do it. So if you're experiencing a lot of negativity on it, first thing is don't go down the rabbit hole with it. Don't bite on. Don't join in on it. Try to maintain yourself positive, especially if you're the leader of a group, because the minute you go down that negativity route, your crew's going to start following you, right? So the first step is you don't go down that road. Next step is start maybe reframing some of the conversations of people focusing on what's not working on something as opposed to what is working. So reframe it to, we might not get a pay raise, but hey, we got this gym equipment here. We can work out anytime we're on duty. It's free, and let's make the best situation when we're here. We're not really bothered by things. However you got to do to reframe it, because if we only focus on the negative aspects of our life, our marriage, our kids, our work, whatever it is, we're going to be miserable. Everything's got its pros and cons. Right? You got to just concentrate on what's going on positive with it. So you can start reframing it, and stay busy. Busy crews don't get negative. They don't have time. As I've gotten older in my life, I have different concerns that go on, different stressors, to where the little things that used to bother me in my 20s, I could care less right now. Right? It holds no water. So stay busy. Go out and train. Pre-plan your buildings, do some fire behavior videos, build some props together, whatever it may be. The busier you keep yourself doing result-driven activities, the better off things are going to get. Because what happens is, we just want to stay busy. Well, that's not going to be the answer for it. You got to have the guys or gals being busy doing stuff that's actually making them better and feel good. They feel accomplished after they do it, not just cleaning the station. Go above and beyond that with activities that you're going to do, because no one likes busy work, but if it's going to get us to a certain result, we're all on board, right? I knew a company officer that anytime he saw his guys start getting that way, they go out and do a drill. So as long as you're doing high productive items, good stuff. You know what I mean? One of the biggest things, though, if you're going to take this on, and I hope you all do, is going to be your basis, and that is going to be this book right here, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This helped frame, I read this many years ago, and what I'm actually going to do right now is just go through it and talk about some of the highlights so you can understand some stuff that I picked up that I try to think about throughout my daily process, because at the end of the day, if we're starting to influence people as opposed to just making demands, we're going to get further. Demands are short. So I can make a demand, hey guys, I want you in your button-up shirts no later than 7:05. Okay, it's a demand. Odds are when I'm there on my vacation day or my Kelly day, it's not going to happen. But if you can influence people where they want to wear their button-ups starting early in the morning, then it's going to go further. It's going to take more work. Our influence takes more work. That's why most people just try to make demands. And it's actually self-inhibited when they go that route. So let's get to some of these highlights, and I can share with you guys. So if you ever want to pick this book up, because this is really going to help out with stuff that we encounter on a day-to-day basis. Criticism didn't persuade. Something we just talked about. It's foolish to scold. We're rewarded for good behavior will learn much more rapidly and retain what it learns far more effectively than an animal punished for bad behavior. So we learn from positive reinforcement as opposed to negative reinforcement. Don't criticize them. They're just what we would be under similar circumstances. I had a similar conversation with a guy. I said, if you experienced everything that person did, you'd be the same. They disagreed with me. Well, at the end of the day, there's no way to find out until you went that route, correct? There's people that have lost spouses, lost children, been through divorces, big ailments that go through their life, and that's a stressor that they go through. And if you've never experienced that, how can you judge them for the route that they took in their life? And it really comes down to having a really good amount of empathy. So back to the book here. When dealing with people, you're dealing with people. We're emotional creatures. We don't get logical. We tend to our emotions. That's why. What's everything when it's not going our way in the fire service? It's bullshit, right? And that's the emotional part. We get very emotional over things instead of trying to think logically. So we tend to have a habit of finding fault. Instead of condemning people, try to understand them. So we talk about this, basically empathy, is understanding the situation where they're coming from. To know all is to forgive all. The big takeaway for this principle is don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Especially if you're dealing with complainers, because who's at fault there? The person complaining or the person complaining about the complainers? There's only one way under high heaven to get anybody to do anything. Make the other person want to do it. All right, when you're demanded to do something, are you more likely to do it, or if you have a deeper understanding and your influence to do it? Crude methods have sharply undesirable repercussions. The deepest urge is a desire to be important, to have an audience, to feel valued, right? The deepest principle in human nature is a craving to be appreciated. So that's, finding the pros in someone. Hey, what are they bringing to the table? What's doing real well? The way to develop the best that is in a person is by appreciation and encouragement, positive reinforcement. Honest appreciation got results where criticism and ridicule failed. Give honest and sincere appreciation. Value your people around you. The only way on earth to influence other people is to talk about what they want and show them how to get it. Every act you have ever performed since the day you were born was performed because you wanted something. Before you speak, pause and ask yourself, how can I make this person want to do it? So, it's all about arousing an ear to want in the other person. You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you. We are interested in others when they are interested in us. So especially if you're the boss, get interested in your people. Someone's got to be the one to take the first step, and to me that's your hierarchy of command, your leadership. Encouragement is much more effective teaching device than punishment. You guys starting to see a trend here? Find out what people are interested in and get them talking about that to start warming them up. Always make the other person feel important. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Golden rule, right? Every man I meet is my superior in some way, and that I learn of him. And you probably heard me and saw some other videos. There's always something that someone's better than you at. Maybe you're better than them at something, but find out what they're better than you at. A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. So they might do what you ask, but they're still haven't bought into it, and that's not the route you want to always take with things. You cannot teach a man anything. You can only help him find it within himself. If you are wrong, admit it quickly and empathetically. All right. I've met people that it's almost like being a sore loser, right? You're wrong, you don't want to admit it, you're embarrassed. Just the other day, I got called out on something, and I was wrong, and I apologized for it, and it went twofold back and made things way better just by admitting that your mistakes. Begin by emphasizing and keep on emphasizing the things on which you agree on. So talk about where you both agree, because odds are maybe you're just looking at a situation differently. Success in dealing with people depends on a sympathetic grasp of the other person's viewpoint. Once again, is understanding the other person. I don't blame you one iota for feeling as you do. If I were you, I would undoubtedly feel just as you do. And that goes back to you experienced everything I did, you'd be doing the same thing I would. And I experienced everything that you did in your life, I'd be doing what you're doing. One major factor that motivated people was the work itself. So make it quality work and people are going to want to do it, right? It's much easier to get a guy to get satisfaction over, hey, put this drill on, than, hey, you're in charge of making sure that all the trash got taken out today. Where are they going to get more value from, right? You are leaders. You will be the most effective when you lead by example. You must be the example for your men to follow. You know, I got asked once about how to keep guys' morale high. And I talked about it earlier in the video was keep your own morale high. That's step one. You know, you can get deeper into it, but the biggest thing is you got to start with yourself, right? Praise is like sunlight to the warm human spirit. We cannot flower and grow without it. Praise. Appreciate what's going on. So that was just a quick, I got a lot of other highlights in here, but I'm not going to go through all of them. Make sure to get yourself a copy of How to Win Friends and Influence People. This is going to start the influence process for you within your firehouse, and it's really going to help you level up that leadership and understanding that we get a lot further when we start influencing people as opposed to just making demands. So once again, if you got something out of this and you really appreciate it, share this video. You can also find it on YouTube once it all gets uploaded. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next week.